Today on the sit down, we're talking with the backbone of the Roanoke Rail Yard Dawgs, the man behind the mask, Austyn Roudebush. Standing at 6'3", Austyn isn't your average goalie. He's a powerhouse between the pipes and one of the most dedicated athletes in the SPHL. Known for his laser focus and unmatched work ethic, Austyn's journey from a kid who became a goalie almost out of spite to one of the SPHL's top netminders is as inspiring as it is entertaining. Austyn, welcome to the show. I'm really excited to have you here, man.
Hey, thanks, Joey. I appreciate it.
So I did find in one of the stories that the Rail Yard Dawgs have done that you did essentially become a goalie out of spite because you didn't want to skate much. Looking back, how do you think that decision kind of shaped your hockey journey?
Oh, well, till this day, I still wish I did not make that choice and I was a forward. Being with my size and that and my muscle mass, I'll be a pretty heavy unit in the corners. So, no, I mean, I'm happy I made the decision as being a goalie as well. So, I mean, it's taken me pretty far, and I've accomplished a lot along the way. So, no regrets there.
Accomplished a lot is a bit of an understatement. I will say that. But yeah, so what's like one of your earliest memories being on the ice that made you really think like, hey, I could really do this goalie thing?
That's a tough question. I don't know if there was really an exact moment. I think every day I always wanted to go as far as I could go and, one day play professionally. So that was just always in the back of my mind, whether I was playing forward or as a goalie. But I would say my most memorable moment as a goalie where, I thought I was on top of the world was on the first time I caught a puck. And it was just out of good fortune that the puck bounced off the ice and landed in my glove. And I was so happy and excited. I skated to the bench and showed all the boys.
I love that. That's awesome. So being a goaltender takes a really special mindset. When was that kind of apparent for you, and when did it like really kind of kick in, what it really means to be a goalie?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, once you get to the pro level, like most goalies will say, and it's pretty well known now that, 90% mental and 10% physical. I think throughout your journey as developing as a goaltender, you work on the details and the habits of the game to create almost a perfection within your game. So, once you get to the pro level, that's developed and that's there. Um, the hardest part is not getting distracted, not getting frustrated, staying in a comfort level of almost in a blackout mode where you're completely in the zone and dialed in on the puck. That's very hard to tap into, let alone continue with that for 60 minutes straight during game time. That's really hard, but I think you just throughout experience as a goaltender, seeing all these repetitions, these shooters shoot, the way the puck releases off their stick, you kind of teach yourself in being able to anticipate the game more and more to where you can just trust yourself and have the confidence going into games mentally.
Now, a lot of people, and really just in general, the more you do something, the more it kind of slows down and becomes a little bit easier. As a goalie, when did the game start slowing down for you?
Oh gosh, probably when I started getting more and more competitive. Probably U14, U16. Around that time, my youth team really started clicking, and we started to get really good and compete with the top AA teams in the nation. I think at those times when you're playing those high intensity games, where the puck is back and forth and you're getting a shot every line rush. It kind of just happens, it comes at you fast, and it's whether or not you can tap into that. It's sort of like a high. It really is. You just, once you tap into that zone, the game just slows down. Like everything that you've learned up to that point, as far as anticipating the game and making reads on the ice, it's an amazing feeling. It really is.
Now, you went to Adrian College and you helped the Bulldogs win a national championship and you earned tournament MVP, which is a little bit of foreshadowing because you ended up winning another one not too long after. What made that team and that season so special?
Well, we were together for 4 years, at least most of the guys in that team, my senior class. And it's just like it's one of those things where you keep a solid core group around. The chemistry develops over the time, and you know expectations were high for us the way we dominated our division. So it was, we knew we were going to win going into that season. And we had a lot of good talent on that team that probably could have been playing NCAA D3, let alone NCAA D1 somewhere else. But, they made the choice to come to Adrian College, which was awesome. I did the same. And yeah, we dominated every game that year. It was actually insane to watch. It made my job very, very easy. We won 8-1 in the national championship game. It was It was crazy. I mean, going 26-0 myself, and then like as a team 34-1, that's complete and utter dominance throughout a season. That the workload wasn't too heavy for me, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, you gotta shout out your teammates when you don't have to work that hard, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they made my job easy, very, very easy that year.
Now, going from college hockey into the pros, what was the biggest adjustment that you feel like you had to make?
Mm, Now, I didn't really notice an adjustment at first because I started off in a lower level, right? I went out to Sweden, played D2. Wasn't ran professionally the way I hoped professional hockey to be ran. So the whole professional experience over there wasn't, it was not something that I had to really adjust to because it was similar to college. Once I came to the Fed, I was kind of on my last limb to playing hockey. I was like, I don't want to play in the Fed forever. I either I get called up this year or I'm done. So I think then is when I really turned my game on the ice and off the ice, as far as making sure I'm prepared every single game, every single practice. That means stretching out, working out, doing hand-eye coordination drills, and just taking it more seriously. So I think that was really the biggest adjustment for me, like as an individual, to play at those levels. I think the one adjustment that I had that I've seen was just, the overall game speed gets a little quicker. Guys are thinking a little faster, they're shooting a little harder, passes are quicker, and guys are more deceptive. So I think it's an overall adjustment to every aspect of the game.
Now, when you did get called up, Knoxville comes calling, and you start your SP career with Knoxville. Tell me what that was like.
Well, I started my SB career with Roanoke.
Oh,
Right?
did I get that wrong? That
Yeah.
could be on me.
So the year that I played in the Fed, it was, I was there for a half a year. I told myself, I don't get called up, this will be my last season of hockey. I get called up. It was me and Henry Dill at the time. We were kind of going head to head, competing. We were both playing very well. We were both pushing our team towards a playoff spot that year, and COVID hit. So I started off.
That's right. And okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's on me, man. That's on
Oh,
me.
you're
But
good.
hey,
I just wanted
still,
to make.
like you start in Roanoke, you go over to Knoxville, like just in general, moving up to the SP, just kind of what was that like?
It was a lot faster. It was that's probably when the notice of the big adjustment was made was it the Fed was faster than the Swedish D2 league, and both of which are faster than Acha D1. Um, and the SP I think is probably a step and a half faster in all aspects of the game, and that's what I noticed my first year coming to Roanoke is just it's heavier guys with heavier hits. They screen a lot better. They're able to shoot around traffic a lot easier, and they can just make the game difficult for a goalie.
Now, speaking of Roanoke, when you finally got a chance after COVID to come back and play a full season in Roanoke, tell me what it was like to settle in and kind of learn Brimner's famous, Roanoke Rail Yard Dawgs way.
I mean, it was fun. I felt like I had unfinished business in Roanoke. Obviously, being that we were so close to making playoffs, and we're going into a weekend of games that really meant the stake for our playoff spot. And coming that close and having the season end, I was excited to get back to Roanoke and just go all in with whatever Brems had to say, and just do my best for the team and push myself to be a number one goalie.
Now, can you walk us through probably the most iconic season in Rail Yard Dawgs history, the President's Cup run?
Yeah.
Yeah, just take us through what it was like to be a part of that team that year, and then what the playoffs was like that year.
Ooh, it was something special. It really was. We weren't the number one team going into the playoffs. We didn't have the highest seed, but you know, picking up the right pieces throughout the season, towards the end of the season, having a big core group of guys that, played for each other day in and day out. We always kind of had the mentality going into playoffs and throughout the season, like, we're going to win this year. We're going to win this year. I mean, we're just, yeah, we're losing games here and there and we're winning games here and there, but come playoff time, we will be the most prepared team. And the way we play, no one's going to be able to hang with us. So it was really cool to kind of have that mentality throughout the season and talk about it and go and do it. And throughout the playoff run, it happened so quick. It really did. It's hard to even now look back on it and remember game in and game out. I mean, obviously the most memorable moments of playoffs was the last 10 seconds of game 4, when they tied it up. And then the biggest memorable moment that I probably will ever experience is, Mac Jansen getting the game winner. So it was awesome. Throughout the playoff run, we just, no one spoke negatively. It was always positive remarks on the bench, in the locker room, uplifting comments, and, everyone pulling on the rope.
Now, in that playoff series, in the President's Cup final, you actually won MVP. What did that mean to you?
Oh, it was cool. It was especially, losing. Gosh, I don't even know. Like, there's so many years. If we lost, since we lost to Peoria in the finals, and I was kind of on the bench and not out there with the team, I felt like I had a lot to prove, and to earn my spot back and hold it down. So to win that award, it's awesome, but I don't do it without that team. The defense, the guys blocking shots, you guys getting the pucks out, and it's time to get the puck out and not messing around with it. All of that gave me that MVP. So No, it was really cool experience. I know my dad loved seeing it. I wish we all could have hoisted it up because that year was truly special.
Now, you mentioned Mac Jansen's game winner. When that happened, I legitimately thought that the Berglund Center roof was going to collapse. It was so loud in there. I do have to ask the obligatory question. What does the Star City mean to you and the fans, and what do they mean to you?
Well, I mean a lot. It's Roanoke is my new home, and it has been for a few years. And to feel so welcomed wherever I go, wherever I'm noticed at the rink, that's very awesome. And hearing the positive words from fans, that's really cool. And it's helped shape me who I am as a person today too. To give back to the community when I can, and since they're out there supporting me, I'd like to support them in ways that I can. Um, yeah, it's a home I've always wanted in my life. To be somewhere in the mountains playing hockey, and it's kind of ironic that the first professional hockey game that I ever went to, the Toledo Storm game, and like going through the memorabilia stands and all that. I always liked pucks. I like collecting pucks, and the first puck I ever got at a pro game was a Roanoke Express puck.
That's awesome.
Like, here I am finishing out my professional hockey career in Roanoke.
Now, I do have a express puck somewhere in this wall monstrosity behind me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do relate. I love hockey pucks. I have plenty. Quick side tangent, though. You were there for the unveiling of the rebrand. What do you think of all the new logos and stuff, man?
I like them. I like the freshness of it. It's something new. Feels like a fresh start again. I'm getting new equipment, so I get to play around with that a bit. I I think it's going to take some time for these logos to grow on me, but I do like them. I do like the freshness of them. I like the baby blue installment into the logo. That's a lot, like I said, allowing me to play with some baby blue. So no,
Are you gonna get a new goalie
excited.
mask?
What's that?
Are you gonna get a new goalie mask?
Yes, I got one being done up right now.
Dude, that's sick.
It's not anything crazy.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I like having the design on there because my wife, who takes pictures for the Rail Yard Dawgs, she cracks me up every time because she's always like, Austyn Roudebush is like the most photogenic goalie ever, but she hated when you had the white mask because it was so reflective. That she was like, all the pictures, they just. Anyways, that was random side tangent.
Oh, that's funny. Is she the one that took the photos that you sent me?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Really good pictures in there.
Yeah. And
thank you.
Yeah, of course. And we still have like a bunch that we have to go through. So I'm going to send you more for the record. It was, I believe, Monday we filmed it. I got to talk to Joel Silverberg of the Knoxville Ice Bears. And
okay.
You legitimately have, you're smiling, so I'm assuming you already kind of know where I'm going with this. You have one of my favorite Roanoke Rail Yard Dawg memories when you dropped the mitts against Trevor Babin in 2022. It was the first goalie fight in Roanoke Rail Yard Dawgs history. My personal favorite Rail Yard Dawg moment. Walk me through that. And it's so rare. When do you know when to drop the mitts as a goalie?
I don't know if you really ever do know. It's just something that happens in the moment and you go for it. But, so what happened was Knoxville dumped the puck in, behind my net. I go out, play it, I stop it. Goalie rule of thumb is you go back in the net the same way you came. So that's what I was doing. The Knoxville little player, I forget who it was, Williamson, he's probably half my height. comes straight at me. It's like either I defend myself or I let him just take me out. So I just stood my ground and I completely flattened this kid. And, crowd's going nuts. It's just all the animosity. And then I just look up the ice and I just see Babin at the red line. And I look at the scoreboard. I'm like, oh, we're up 3-0. It's the third period. I don't have a goalie fight yet. There's a lot of people here. This would like, why not? He came knocking, so I answered.
I love that. That was that I genuinely that whole fight is like ingrained into my memory, and it is something that I will forever be grateful for. So thank you for doing that, because
hopefully maybe there'll be another one this year.
That would be awesome. Yeah, they're so rare. You never get to see it happen, and that was our first full season covering the Dogs. And you did that, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm forever entrenched. This is the team I'm going to cover every year. It was awesome. Let's look forward to this year. You said you're getting some new gear, so we can, I guess, confirm that you're coming back this season. What do you think this team is capable of with who you guys have, announced is coming back so far?
Has there been announcements?
There was one, but even despite that, just with who is coming back, what do you think?
I have no idea who's coming back. I have zero clue. But I trust in what Brems has in mind for a team. I trust his better judgment to put a team together and the guys to bring in to, make all the puzzle pieces fit in order to win another championship. I've seen it before. So, of course, in Dogs' nature, we have high expectations for every game and to succeed throughout the season. So, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to get to work. Yeah, it's most likely, I don't know, going to be my last season. So I'm going to put it all out there, and I expect the guys around me to do the same. So, yeah, it should be a very exciting start of the season.
Well, if it is your final year, we will definitely be sad to see you go, but we'll hopefully send you off with a swan song and be able to lift up another President's Cup. Awesome. Let's move into the lightning round. I'm going to give you a question. I just want you to give me the first answer that comes to your mind. All right?
Oh boy. Yeah, right. Let's do
it. What's your go-to pump-up song before a game?
Oh, go-to pump-up song. I don't really have one because I listen to Chinese meditation music the whole time. That's go-to. I don't want to get pumped up. I want to be even, cool, relax. Find that happy medium of being in the zone. So I listen to very calming, meditative music.
No, I actually love that. I have not gotten that answer yet, so that's cool.
That's a goalie quirk right there for you.
Hey, I'm here for it. I love goalies. I think they're amazing. Favorite post-game meal after a win?
Favorite post-game meal after a win? Oh, boy. Home win or away win?
Hey, either one.
Home win, it's whatever the boosters supply for us. I'm just happy to get food in me, to be honest. I can't say there's anything. Oh, the smoked brisket that they got from Mamma Mia's the one day. If we could have that after every post-game, I would be in heaven. That's some good smoked brisket. But no, I'm starving. I lose probably 9-10 pounds a game. So I am just eating anything within arm's reach.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. With as hard as you work, I'm not surprised. Best hockey arena you've gotten a chance to play in so far? And I will exclude Roanoke. Roanoke doesn't count for this question.
Oh, well, Roanoke's not it.
Oh, all right. What is it?
Joe Louis. The Joe Louis Arena where the Red Wings used to play. Now,
Yeah.
are you asking for the SPHL or of all time? Because of all time, it's the Joe Louis where the Detroit Red Wings used to play. It was probably I played there a few times growing up. It's awesome, really cool experience. Especially now that it's not there anymore. God, but in the
No, that,
SPHL, I would have to say Huntsville, just because they have a pretty good fan base and they're a pretty dedicated fan base too. So it's always loud in there and it's a great atmosphere to play in, and especially when you beat the Havoc in their home rink, it's nice to shut up the fans.
Matt O'Day said the same exact answer. I think that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
we always do well in Huntsville too. It's just it's one of those arenas that are exciting to play in. That's why we play, to play in front of all the fans. So it's a good feeling to go there and win.
No, I love that. If you weren't a goalie and you didn't play hockey, what other sport would you play?
Tennis.
Tennis. I've not gotten that answer either.
I played in high school for fun, just to be with a couple of my buddies and fool around, and I wasn't bad. So I think that's a sport I probably could have been pretty good at, especially like how lanky I am and quick. So good reaction speed. So I think tennis would have been my number one if it weren't for hockey.
No, I love that. All right. And then last question. What is the most underrated skill that a goalie should have?
Most underrated skill a goalie should have? Quick chest.
All
Quick.
right. All
If
right.
you know,
Well,
you know. If you don't, brush up on hockey IQ.
hey, I've never played hockey, so I wouldn't know.
Who's listening?
All right. Well, Austyn, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. It means a ton to me, and I'm sure the fans out in Roanoke are going to love this.
Awesome. Sounds good, Joey. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.